Aloha mai kako, and welcome everyone to the Office of Hawaiian Affairs meeting of the Board of Trustees. Today is Thursday, June 6, 2025. Time now is 10 o'clock, 10:10 in the morning. Board Secretary, please take a roll.
Trustee Ahuna. Trustee Akaka.
Here.
Trustee Akina is excused. Trustee Alapa is excused. Trustee Galuteria.
Here.
Trustee Lindsay. Trustee Souza.
Here.
Trustee Waihe'e.
Present.
Chair Kahele.
Present.
I see Trustee Ahuna online, and
He did call me. He was having trouble. He was having issues.
I'll just mark him when he arrives. So we have 6 trustees. We have quorum.
I did speak to him, yeah. Okay, aloha kako everyone. This meeting can be viewed via live stream on OHA's website at www.oha.org/live stream for those joining us on Zoom. To testify or listen, please note that we are using the webinar platform rather than a standard Zoom meeting format. As an attendee, you will be able to watch and listen to the proceedings. And if you wish to testify on a specific agenda item, please follow these steps. Please raise your hand to indicate that you would like to speak. We'll change your status from attendee to panelist when it is your turn. This may take a few seconds, so we appreciate your patience. And as a panelist, you will have the option to turn on your camera and unmute yourself to provide testimony. Once you have finished testifying, please mute yourself and you will be returned to attendee status. In addition to this, I would like to remind everyone to please silence your cell phones, and when addressing the Board of Trustees, please refrain from any profanity. Joining us today is we have our CEO, Kapohana Stacey Ferreira, and I'd like to ask our CEO to introduce any of our executive team members here with us today. Aloha, Stacey.
Mahalo. Aloha, Chair, Vice Chair, Trustees. Joining us in person, we have our Chief Operating Officer, Kehao Pu'u, Endowment Director, Ryan Lee, Financial Analyst, Grace Chen, Interim Corporation Counsel, Everett Ota, Senior Director of Hawaiian Cultural Affairs, Hailama Farden, Interim Director of Land Assets, Lori Walker, Director of Communications, Bill Brennan, Operations Manager, Royce Campbell, Senior IT Systems Engineer and Administrator, Kevin Chalk, and IT Systems Engineer and Administrator, Arlene Aguinaldo. Mahalo.
Board members, we're going to take up new business at this time. And that the first action item for board business will be a request for approval to waive action item BF 2539 from the Committee on Budget and Finance to the Board of Trustees pursuant to the Office of Hawaiian Affairs Board of Trustees bylaws, which are dated March 20th, 2025. And I'm going to read, yes, let me do that. Okay, let me recognize Vice Chair, Trustee Waihe, to read the waiver for the action item.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move to waive action item BF 2539 from the Committee on Budget and Finance to the Board of Trustees pursuant to the Office of Hawaiian Affairs Board of Trustees bylaws, Article 8, Section M.
Okay, we have seconded from our Chair Emerita. Trustees, is there any debate on the request for a waiver? This item, as you had previously discussed by the board, went back to the administration to rescore the worksheets, and it looks like they've come back and presented an updated Ho'akoa'okoa Lahui event sponsorship. So if there are no discussions on the waiver, let's call for a roll call vote to approve the waiver.
Trustee Ahuna. Trustee Akaka.
Hi.
Trustee Akina is excused. Trustee Alapa is excused. Trustee Galuteria.
Aye.
Trustee Lindsay. Trustee Souza.
Aye.
Trustee Waihe'e.
Yes.
Chair Kahele.
Aye.
We have 6 yes votes for the waiver.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, let's now move on. Now that we have the item waived to the Board of Trustees to be placed on the table, I recognize Trustee Waihe to read the action item number BF 2539.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move to approve and authorize FY 2025 sponsorship funding to the Mauna Loa Gardens Foundation, DBA MGF Hawaii for the 48th Annual Prince Hula Lot Festival event on July 19th to 20th, 2025, in the amount of $15,000.
We have a second? Okay, second by Chair Emerita Lindsay. Is there any debate on the, I'm sorry, yes, let's go to testifiers. Do you have anyone signed up from the public to testify on this agenda item? Okay,
Yes, our first speaker is Jermaine Myers.
we also, before going to Jermaine, do I also have Ian Costino? I have him on my notes, signed up to testify as well. Chief Executive Officer of Mauna Loa Gardens.
He,
You may be, okay. If not, if Jermaine, you can hear us? Good morning, Jermaine.
Aloha, Chair. I had raised my hand regarding the waiver. So waivers
Hey,
are.
hold on, Jermaine. Your volume is muted. Let me get our staff to turn up the volume so that we can hear you properly. Okay? Give me.
Mahalo.
You good? Okay, I think we can hear you clearly now, Jermaine. Go ahead. You're recognized.
Okay, you can hear me now, Chair?
Yeah, everyone can hear you now clearly.
Okay, mahalo. I had raised my hand for the waiver action item. So waiver action items, aren't we able to give testimonies on waivers as well? Waivers of action items? Because it is an agenda item.
Yeah, yeah, she can do that, right?
Yeah, but we already voted on it, so we should retake.
Okay.
Yeah, give her an opportunity. to be heard.
Okay. Yes, absolutely. Go ahead and you can testify on the waiver, Jermaine.
I just wanted clarification. Okay, I just wanted clarification because Monday you have a waiver. And so I just wanted to make sure that waivers are just as much an action, an agenda item as others. So I'll go ahead and just wanted a point of clarification regarding that. Thank you, Chair. I'm done.
Okay. Okay, great. Well, hope you're having a great day, Jermaine.
What the other item?
Jermaine, do you have any testimony on the actual action item itself and the Ho'okokoa sponsorship for $15,000 to Mauna Loa Gardens for the Prince Lot Hula
No,
Festival?
my testimony was on the waiver action item.
Copy.
That
Okay.
it was, yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Jermaine. It's kind of a point of clarification, I guess. She had no comment on it. Yeah, I think she just wanted to clarify the process. Anyone else? Ian was unable. Okay, all right. Anyone from the public like to testify on this? If not, trustees, any discussion? Seems like a fantastic event. 48 years now. Okay, well, let's and it's free. Oh, amazing. Okay, let's table discussion on it and let's go to a roll call vote.
okay, trustee Ahuna is trying to get on, so I'll come back. Trustee Akaka,
Aye.
trustee Akina is excused, trustee Alapa is excused, trustee Galuteria,
Aye.
trustee Lindsay, trustee Souza, trustee Waihe'e,
Yes.
chair Kahele,
Hi.
and one more time, trustee Ahuna. Oh. I see you, trustee Ahuna, and I just unmuted you.
Yeah,
Okay, we
yeah,
have trustee.
Mahalo.
Fantastic. Okay, I'm sorry, continue the vote. Okay, the motion is adopted. All right, trustees, we're now moving on to item 3 on the agenda. This would be our executive session. Do we have anyone sign? Oh, yeah, why not? Let's do that. Let's get that out of the way. Yeah. You know what, trustees, at this time, just in case our executive session goes a little longer than planned, let's jump to community concerns and celebrations, since I know we have some members of our community that are here, and give them a chance to testify so they can be on their way. Do we have anyone signed up on community concerns and celebrations?
Yes, our first speaker is Jamie Miller.
Welcome, Jamie.
I also have people on Zoom from Hawaii Island. So a total of 5 of us. We won't take that long though,
Okay.
but we're gonna provide testimony together. Are you guys there? Kale, Aubrey? Okay. Okay. Well, while we're doing that, aloha,
Aloha.
everyone. Aloha, Chair. Aloha, Trustees. Vice Chair. Aloha, Stacy. We're just here to really provide an update and just our deepest mahalo to all of you for supporting E Kolumea Nui. I came last year and asked for sponsorship for our E Ho'ovaivai event that was earlier this year, and you folks provided sponsorship. And so I'm sorry it took us so long to come back and give a proper mahalo, but the OPO were in school. It's so hard. Their schedules are worse than ours. And I did bring, I don't, can I hand these out? Like, these are just programs from that evening, and just wanted to, some of you were there, some of you weren't, and just wanted to share what was happening that evening, and then just to provide a little bit of the impact that has occurred since January. And we're pretty much new organization. We've been around since 2020, but your sponsorship and that event helped us move from a purely volunteer run organization to now having staff and doing direct programming, and really making an impact in our community. We're probably one, not probably, I do know we're one of only very few Native Hawaiian led justice impacted organizations doing this kind of work. And so since the event, and it was super successful, we had over 400 people, sold out our tickets. We exceeded our fundraising goal, and we're able to hit the ground running since then. A couple of things that I wanted to highlight is that aligns with your strategic direction of health outcomes and economic stability, specifically the outcomes 3.1, 3.3, and 7.4. We've been involved in partnering with other organizations and training people that are returning back to community as peer support specialists. And this is an evidence-based career pathway for those that are returning home. It's healing, and it's a livable wage. And we had 2 cohorts this year. We'll probably do another one. And they're all Native Hawaiians, and we did it on Maui. Um, and um, and they've all been placed in organizations, and they're continuing on that journey. So we're super proud about that, because this is something that came from the continent, and Hawaii is we're a little bit lag, yeah, from the continent in best practices, but we're really proud about this initiative. And then another thing that we did was we've been able to support more Keiki Days, and what there is a gap on neighbor islands of bringing families here so that they can have visits and be with their loved ones, and just have a day of healing and connecting. And so we've been concentrating on that, because our whole thing is about the family of incarcerated individuals and how do we help prepare them for the person that's going to return home. And then on a broader movement to shift these systems, we've been focusing on our OPO, the next generation of leaders. And these are all justice impacted OPO. They're Native Hawaiian, and they're making a difference in their community. And it's a strategy for us to end intergenerational incarceration, which is, as I know Stacy knows and others know, like that is that affects many Native Hawaiian families. And so I want to turn the time over to our OPO for them to share a little bit and introduce themselves.
Aloha, I'm Aubrey K. Aloha. I'm 16 years old and I'm from Ola'a, Hawaii.
Aloha, my name is Zoe Martinez. I'm 16 years old and I'm from Kaumana.
Aloha, my name is Hailey Ke Aloha. I'm 13 years old and I'm from Ola'a, Hawaii.
Aloha, I'm Kale Ke Aloha, and I'm the co-executive director for E Kolumea Nui. I won't tell my age.
Aloha.
Something we are currently doing is me and Aubrey are youth leaders for WIPSI. So yeah. Oh, So what we're doing right now is we're planning the youth part of WIPSI, we're gonna do conferences and speak at WIPSI, and we're also gonna plan like the youth, I guess, community room where everyone gets together, gets to know each other, talk about our experiences being Indigenous people.
We've also had other opportunities to attend other conferences. The most recent one I attended was the Indigenous Health and Wellbeing in Australia, where we got to bring up how we want to end intergenerational incarceration. And we got to talk about how important it is as youth to be like connected to your culture. Yeah.
We also were able to work and write a resolution this following ledge session, and we also testified in person and did written testimony for a bill.
The bill that we wanted to pass, it didn't get passed, but our resolution got passed. But the bill that we were focusing on was to end fees and fines for youth, because one of the problems that we see is like a lot of families in Hawaii can't afford to pay for their youth's fees and fines. So that's why we wanted to come to an end. But since that bill didn't get passed, the resolution that we wrote ourselves was to make sure that instead of doing like community service where they pick up trash on the side of the road, they would go to a local ia or a loi and they would do their work there so they can return to their culture and where they come from, and that can be more healing for them.
We're also part of another leadership program called Kono Ola. And this program, we are able to find the issue in our community, and we do data research and we do Facebook Lives talking about the issue and how we are going to change it.
Awesome.
Mahalo.
Mahalo.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, they've been pretty busy. I think this phase of our organization is just really bringing awareness to incarcerate or the over incarceration of our people, and us really paying attention to the next generation so that it doesn't happen to them. When my son was incarcerated and we'd go and visit him, there were so many times that we'd be on a table and I'd be looking at another family and my son's like, stop staring, mom, stop staring. But you'd see a father, a son, a brother visiting with their family, and I just couldn't wrap my head around that. Like, how could this happen in just one family? And so that's what we're focusing on, is to just really end this intergenerational incarceration phenomenon. And so we want to expand now OPO Vibe. We're going to do a recruitment. We want more OPO involved. So we have OPO on Oahu, on Hawaii Island. Molokai is very interested. We have a Makua there that would like to take lead in that. And the other thing that we've been doing as part of awareness and just bringing this issue, because this is not the shiny and bright kind of issue. Nobody likes to talk about this. It's hurtful. It causes pain. It's shameful. And so we're just laying ourselves out there and wanting to, because what I've learned is the more you talk about it, you get more healed. And so, so we've been sharing and we've been presenting, we've been doing so many presentations. People are always asking the OPO to come and do this. And so we've partnered with the Gerbode Foundation. The other thing is that getting funding in Hawaii, who funds us, Ekolumea Nui, mainly comes from outside of Hawaii. It's philanthropy outside. We have applied locally here and we've gotten declined or denied. It's just really, it's a hard sell up against other things. And so, and funding is tight. But we have partnerships on the continent, and they have invested in Hawaii, and the Gerbode Foundation came and we did a learning tour together. And I have, this is a report for you folks. It's called Ho'ivai, which is our framework at Ekolumea Nui. And they did a report on incarceration of Native Hawaiians in Hawaii, and they're using this report to share with other philanthropists so that they can come and invest in Hawaii. They came to the event. They got to meet other people. They're going to come back in October, and they're bringing 25 or so other interested philanthropists that want to invest in Hawaii and want to partner and want to leverage their funding. And so we've been kind of focusing a lot on that lately besides this OPO group. And so just wanted to share and just mahalo you folks, because besides all the other sponsorships from the event, on the day-to-day, you know, it's been difficult to really raise the funds that are necessary to keep us going. And so I just wanted to mahalo you folks.
Thanks so much,
being
Jamie. And
a
mahalo
sponsor.
for the Keiki joining us. We really appreciate your testimony. Mahalo. Have a great day. Lehua, anyone present for community concerns before I see Jermaine has her hand raised? Anyone else here?
No one else in person.
Okay,
So
great.
Jermaine is next.
Hey, Jermaine, we're on community concerns and you're recognized. Oops, hold on one second. Our timeline went off. Okay, you ready? Okay, Jermaine, good morning.
Good morning, Chair Kahele. Mahalo for this opportunity to testify on community concerns. My name is Jermaine Myers. I'm OHA beneficiary for Beneficiary Advocacy and Empowerment. I'm also a Nanakuli Hawaiian Homestead lessee. I didn't know that you were going to move it up. I thought I was going to have to wait to executive session, which I would have to be somewhere else. So I appreciate this an opportunity now to give my community concerns. So yesterday I attended the BNF meeting, the continuance meeting. And I was shocked to see and sad to see that included in the budget changes was that the Hawaiian charter schools, and specifically mines on the Waianae Coast, Kavaihona and Kamaile. Kavaihona with over 600 students, Kamaile with over 900 students, will get $100,000 less than what was presented in the budget to the Lahui in May because of the changes that were made. The same amount as a school that is serving only 35 students. And I don't say only lightly because they are Hawaiians. But after all these federal cuts, not to give us the opportunity to be able to say, hey, why are you removing Kalo? Why are you depleting our monies? That's why Principal Kalehua came on Monday to ask for congruence and to look at what is the amount of students are being served as compared to just everybody get the equal amount. And so as I had brought it up to Rep. Kila, he had sent an email and copied me on it that he sent to the chair because it was the chair who asked him to come and support the budget, which he didn't know that these changes were made, that now Kalo is not going to be the administrator. Now, our 600 students in Kavaihona and our 900 students in Kamaile along the Waianae Coast, who has serves the most students in any charter school in the state, is now going to each get $100,000 less budget. He was so shocked to hear that was brought up on Wednesday, that was part of the changes that he was not made aware of. And so now he's asking through an email to Chair Kahele, hey, can you increase it back to what it was used to be in the actual presentation that came to our community or to the Lahui in May, or even add more? But again, that's the shock of this change. And so that's why I'm sharing right now that you need to go back to the statutory requirement of bringing this totally new budget back to the community. So students and parents from Kavaihona and Kamaile Elementary can come out to protest and object to this budget, because those that are supporting are not supporting because of merit. They're supporting because they will receive funds, because they will be the beneficiaries of a CIP project of OHA funds that they don't have to compete. But yet our charter schools who are serving our Lahui, who are serving our Keiki, it just bothers me to no end that we already struggle in Waianae. We're indigent Native Hawaiians. We're classified that. And yet we just get bombarded one after another by leaders that do not connect themselves to the Lahui, that do not even, they close the door, shut the door on hearing us. There's this rush to, we got only gonna get one day. It feels like it was a setup. This last day on June 30th, it feels like a setup. This last minute, Monday, oh, here's a new budget was a setup. We went through days after days of hearing, and even some of the Aina didn't even have a chance to even fully vet their budget. When I go back and I watch that 1 week of meetings, they weren't even able to give their, especially strategic and implementation. They never had time. Bill Brennan took over most of the day. By the time it came to them, they couldn't even speak. They not each of the strategic and implementation could actually give a full understanding to the Board of Trustees of their kuleana. And then now I see it yesterday, it all got cut to pieces. Why is it being cut to pieces? But it got to come back to the community. Kea kuapu, God bless all of you.
Thank you so much, Jermaine. Have a wonderful day. Anyone else signed up to speak on community concerns?
No one else is signed up to speak.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna ask. Yeah, I'm gonna announce it first. Okay. Trustees, we're now gonna move on to item 3 on the agenda, which is our posted executive session. Lehua, do we have anyone signed up to speak on any of the executive session items? And we are, the chair is also deferring item 3B that will be brought back to the board at a later date. And so we're just taking up the first item in our executive session, item 3A. So Lehua, does anyone wish to speak on item number 3A of our executive session?
I don't have anyone with their hand up to speak.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I move that we go into executive session.
Okay, thanks, Chair. Seconded by Trustee Souza. Before we recuse ourselves into executive session, I want to announce that we will return to open session and continue the live stream once we are done. Can I get a motion to recuse ourselves into executive session? We did that. We seconded in accordance with HRS section 92-5. Trustees, any discussion on that motion? Hearing none. Lehua, roll call vote.
Trustee Ahuna,
Aye.
Trustee Akaka,
Aye.
Trustee Akina is excused, Trustee Alapa is excused, Trustee Lindsay, Trustee Galuteria,
Aye.
Trustee Souza, Trustee Waihe'e,
Yes.
Chair Kahele.
Aye.
We have 7 yes votes. We will be moving into executive session.
Okay, we'll take a recess and reconvene in executive session. Okay, shoots.
Aloha, for those of you who are on Zoom, if you can remove yourself from this call. And then when we come back into open session, if you folks want to join the link, you can. Thank you.
How can we know that it's open, back in open session, Lehua?
Jermaine, if you can watch the live stream. Oh, that's what I have to do. I have to stop the live stream.